CBI, and these pictures indicate that she was carrying a bag with her. A bag. And that picture that you see there, that's her getting off the grey car with a bag in hand. And that's how she reached the CBI earlier this morning. The first pictures of Rhea Chakraborty. Rhea reaching the CBI on the back foot, angry, sense of frustration as she tried to elbow the window when Republic asked her questions. That's her carrying a bag, dressed in white, carrying a bag, entering the CBI with the CBI office. That's the DRDO guest house. I'm staying with these pictures, and also going across to Shavan as I get details of the NCB investigation. Shavan, tell us about the NCB investigation as we stay with those pictures.
Well, in fact, Rhea Chakraborty and her associates are just the tip of the iceberg. The NCB essentially maintains that they've got a clear-cut mandate which would essentially be looking into not there are drug peddlers who've been operating here in the financial capital, but essentially the drug cartel. This drug cartel which has been associated with Bollywood. This entire picture sounds, the kind of connections that they have had with these drug peddlers and large scale of peddling that has actually taken place. Now, Rhea Chakraborty is just a tip of the iceberg. The reason why we are saying that is because there is a larger list that has been prepared by the NCB, especially given the fact that they've been working on this for quite some time now. This is just a starting point of their entire investigation. So what really happens now is that in the days to come, we would not only expect Rhea Chakraborty and the others who have been named in those WhatsApp conversations which were accessed by the public media network, but also others who have now basically come under the scanner because of their direct connection with the cartel. We are not talking about just a peddler, but an entire cartel that has been operating here in financial capital, which they once again are looking at larger connections. Now, whether this drug angle is now being linked all the way to certain other organizations, or for that matter, banned or proscribed organizations, that link is also going to be very important because remember, the underworld still remains very, very active as far as the underworld angle altogether. So both of them are linked somewhere down the line. And that's the reason why the NCB is saying that they have got a larger mandate. So it is not only going to be a probe that is going to be limited to Rhea Chakraborty and those small-time drug peddlers, but also the cartel, which is going to be now probed by the NCB.
Shavan, as we stay on the pictures of her elbowing and losing her cool, and we also have the pictures that we will tweet and show how she's carrying bags and entering the CBI office. Tell our viewers a little bit about what she's likely to be questioned on.
Well, Niranjan, as far as Rhea Chakraborty's entire questioning is concerned, the line of questioning, let me just tell you that the summons were basically sent out late last evening. This after she had basically made multiple claims before at least 3 news channels, which many would say that there have been several inconsistencies in the version that has been put out by Rhea Chakraborty. Now, as far as investigation goes, what the Central Bureau of Investigation was initially planning for is to wait for the AIMS panel report to come in. Only then they were planning to call in Rhea Chakraborty, but that actually got delayed, with the AIMS panel now communicating to the Central Bureau of Investigation that they would like to come down to Mumbai, which is likely to happen on Monday, and they're going to basically go and interact with the doctors who have conducted the post-mortem, and then the report would be submitted. So once that delay actually happened, the Central Bureau of Investigation then took a final call that it is better to call Rhea Chakraborty before that, and that's the reason why we're looking at suddenly Rhea Chakraborty being called today. Now, let's also take a view through what are we really expecting. Now, the focus for the CBI, unlike the Mumbai police, is going to be very precise. That we are essentially looking at the last 6 months of the events that have essentially taken place. Rhea Chakraborty's links and those. Now, when we talk about last 6 months, remember there has also been a stay that took place in November 25th, 2019 at Waterstones, and there a lot has basically transformed. A lot of the focus would essentially be on that, and then, of course, the Europe trip. The Europe trip becomes extremely important in this entire investigation because several testimonies have come forward before the Central Bureau of Investigation where they're saying that there was a drastic change in the actor's behavior post the Europe trip. So what really happened in the Europe trip? Apart from that, there is another angle that is being probed by the Central Bureau of Investigation. This is with regards to the allegations that have been leveled against Rhea Chakraborty with regards to her administering certain drugs to Sushant Singh Rajput, which also includes certain other psychotropic drugs and medicines too. Certain angles that's going to be extremely important because this is a direct allegation that is being leveled by the complainant in this particular case. So somewhere down the line, she will have to explain administer, and whether at all the drug angle altogether becomes a part of this entire investigation. That is something that we have to wait and watch, because right now the drug angle is not the most important aspect that the CBI is looking at. Then comes the other angle as the financial angle. The financial angle is also part of carry documents, and what we are looking at, the bag that she was essentially carrying, is basically the CBI in its summons had also made a mention with regards to bank documents, with regards to her property documents, and the connections that she's had with Sushant Singh Rajput in terms financially. Those are certain aspects that have been asked, and that's the reason why you're looking at Rhea Chakraborty carrying all those documents along with her as the investigation begins. It's very unlikely right now, Niranjan, that there will be a face-to-face interrogation because there are others